Say Romano here, the Breakthrough Life Coach, and I'm really excited. Someone just reached out to me and said, Lisa, tell me, what is your number one tool? What's the number one thing that you can offer me to help me deal with a narcissist? And I was really excited because I was able to answer the email. And my number one tool is SHUTTY SHUTTY, and I'm going to explain what that is. But first, I want to say a couple of things about narcissism. So not everybody that we know is a narcissist. Not everybody that disagrees with us is a narcissist. Not everybody that we have an argument with is a narcissist. But there definitely are predator type people that we have to contend with every day. Now, these are the people that I use the 3 E's. They feel entitled. They exploit other people at any cost. So whatever their need is, they feel within their right to exploit this person. And they lack empathy. And so they're the type of people who really walk around on planet Earth and believe that whatever's going on in their head and whatever need they have, basically whatever feeling they have, is supreme in relation to other people, which of course is crazy because everybody's opinion is valid, right? Everybody has a right to their own belief. Everybody has a right to feel what they feel, but not everybody has the right. No one has the right to enforce what they feel or what they believe onto other people. And so when we're dealing with someone who's a narcissist, we have to understand that their agenda is to not hear us. That's huge. That's a huge problem because so many of us talk to narcissists and we're under the presumption that the narcissist wants to hear us. They don't. They are not interested in what you have to say. And another tip that you can use is when you figure out that you're dealing with somebody who lacks empathy, exploits other people, and feels entitled to exploit people, and just feels entitled in general, to not follow the rules, to cut the line, to be abusive, whatever, you know the deal. When you're dealing with that type of a person, you have to recognize that this person has no interest in meeting you halfway. Very, very important. And so my number one tool in dealing with somebody who is narcissistic or highly narcissistic is a tool that I call SHUTTY SHUTTY. And it's so powerful. And the reason SHUTTY SHUTTY is so powerful is because it represents this idea that you recognize that the person that you're dealing with doesn't see you. And so a narcissist or someone with high narcissistic traits is sort of like a rock. Would you argue with a rock? No, of course you would not. Would you kick a rock? Not too smart to kick a rock, right? Do you stand there and yell at a rock and ask a rock, to turn into a jug of water? No, rocks are immovable, right? They are solid things and they can't hear you. They're not interested in you. And so you're talking to a narcissist and this is what you get, right? You're constantly hitting this rock. And I remember the first time that I used SHUTTY SHUTTY. And I didn't know that's what it was at that time. That phrase came later. But back in the day, I had a flip phone. And my ex-husband and I think we were already separated, but the harassment was still coming. I was getting 30 text messages, anywhere from like 10 to 30 phone calls a day on my home phone and on my cell phone. Very angry. He had lost control over me. He never expected me to actually follow through with the divorce. And he was just very angry and rageful and persecuted me. I literally felt like I was walking around with a bullseye on my back because everywhere I turned, there he was. He would drive his big pickup truck into the area that I worked. I would come out of work and I'd see his truck parked, in a parking spot not too far away. Then there were times that I would come out of work and I could see his truck coming into the parking lot. I mean, really, at times I was actually terrified. I didn't know what he was going to do. But one of the biggest problems that I had was that I kept talking to him. If he called me, I would engage. If he texted me, I would text back. If he hurled an insult at me, I would hurl an insult back. If I heard in conversation that the ex said X, Y, and Z, and it was a lie, if I didn't fall into a puddle of tears, then I was making sure that I was standing there, practically begging the person, please don't believe them. It's not true. That never happened, right? I was hooked. I was absolutely hooked. So it was sort of like this person in my life was dangling a carrot in front of my face. And I was just following this carrot. I really was hooked. And I didn't realize at the time that it was my ego. My ego was trying to protect the inner child from feeling all this persecution. And the illusion was, I'll fight back. And that's the way that I'll beat this narcissist at this game. He insults me, I'm going to insult him back. He tries to hurt me. He says something about my sanity, I'm going to insult his sanity. You know the deal. And so I'm at work one day. I have a client waiting for me that I have to be 100% present for. And my cell phone's going off, and my cell phone's going off. And I looked at my phone, like I said, it was a flip phone at the time, and I saw a bunch of insults, vulgar insults. And I just looked at the phone, and I felt this anger rise up inside of me, and then I just said, not today. And I shut the phone. So, shutty, shutty. And I remember thinking to myself, I'm not taking the bait today. I'm not taking the bait today. I'm not taking the bait when I go home. When I go home, I'm going to delete all the messages on my answering machine. If he drives into the parking lot, I'm not even going to look his way. If someone insults me through him, I'm not going to engage. I'm going to shutty, shutty. After a while, I began to notice that my energy field began to change. Now, what changed was the energy field that was above my ears. I just did a video about that recently, where we have this auric field, or you can think about the energy field that is above your eyes, that includes your third eye, your crown chakra, your prefrontal lobe, your neocortex. This is your thinking cap, right? And when you use your thinking cap effectively, you can re-energize your physical body, because when you're thinking correctly, especially when you're dealing with the narcissist, right? They are not able to drain you. And so what I began to do was shutty, shutty. So when he drove past the house and he dropped the kids off and he said, oh, back in the day I used to have curly hair. Oh, your mother is Mariah Carey today. I just kept watering the grass. Shutty, shutty. I did not engage, right? The days that I had my hair straight, he would say, oh, mommy looks like Cher today. All different things that he would say just to annoy me, just to gaslight me. I shutty, shutty, just kept watering the grass or kept doing whatever it is I was doing. I began, when he started insulting me through text, as hard as it was to not respond, I said no more. Codependent, no more. I am not engaging. I am holding on to myself. And it worked. It was absolutely amazing. And so my number one tool to helping me deal with a narcissist is really to shutty, shutty. I cannot tell you how effective it is. When I coach people and they tell me that their ex insulted them at a baseball game in front of their child, and I say to them, what happened? And sometimes they'll say, well, we got into this, fight back and forth and it upset the kids. And then I say, okay, now, think about the same situation. Think about being at the baseball game and the kids are present and the mom or the dad says something to you. You know that they're trying to gaslight you. Now imagine you shutty, shutty. Imagine that you say nothing. Imagine that you close your eyes and you disengage, that you detach. And you imagine yourself holding on to your inner child and telling your ego even, you don't have to defend yourself. It's okay. I got you. Shutty, shutty. How would you feel? And across the board, clients will tell me that I would have felt so much better. It's because that I engaged that I feel worse. And this is the thing. We never feel better after a fight. If you think about boxers in a ring, these poor boxers, they're exhausted after a fight. And it makes sense, right? Because they're in the boxing ring and they're physically exhausted. So when they come off and out of the ring, we understand why they're so exhausted. I also think it's very important to say that there are different types of narcissists. There are narcissists that are actually violent. And so in that case, you definitely want to make sure that you have an exit plan and that you're moving towards removing yourself from what could be a violent situation. Very oftentimes, we think we have to defend ourselves and fight back. But if you're dealing with a violent narcissist, that's actually what you don't want to do. And best thing for you to do is to figure out a way to create an exit plan so you can get out of that situation as quickly as possible. But for the everyday garden variety type of narcissist who enjoys being passive aggressive, enjoys gaslighting you, minimizing you, marginalizing you, triangulating you at work, and trying to engage you in some type of a mental and emotional and psychological battle, knowing that they have the energy to do such a thing, and it actually energizes them to take you in. So when you engage with the narcissist, you're actually energizing them. So Shutty Shutty works for that type of a narcissist. What you have to understand is engaging someone with high narcissistic traits in a battle of words, we're never going to win because they were built for this. Every time you hurl an insult at them, they get angrier, they get nasty, they dig in harder. There is no way in the world that I ever could have beat my ex-narcissist with a battle of words. It's just not possible. How I did win was Shutty Shutty. So when he tried to get my goat, Shutty Shutty. When he insulted me in front of the kids, I Shutty Shutty. I said, oh, it's okay, kids. You know, just go in the house. Mommy will be in soon. And I just kept getting the groceries and taking them out of the car or whatever. Now, I personally believe that Shutty Shutty can be used in many situations. When I feel triggered, I Shutty Shutty because I know that whatever is going to come out of my mouth is going to be reactivity. And I know that when I am reactive, I'm subconscious. And when I am reactive, I am not thinking. When I am reactive, my energy body, the energy body that exists between my ears down, right? When I am reacting, energy is given out. It's being given off. I'm not taking energy in. When I instead disengage, when I detach, and when I Shutty Shutty, I am holding on to the energy that is within my auric field, and I am reducing the chances of engaging with a boxer. A narcissist is an energy boxer. They are unbelievably skilled at tearing you down emotionally, mentally, and psychologically. They are hell-bent at persecuting you, right? If you've ever pissed a narcissist off, they're coming for you. Like, they are relentless. You know, it is their agenda to bring you down. They persecute you. They punish you. They smear campaign you. They try to triangulate you, constantly trying to gaslight you. And in my opinion, because it's worked in my personal life, and I'm trying to teach my children to do the same thing, it also works in my professional life when I offer this suggestion to a client, is when you learn to Shutty Shutty with people who are on the spectrum or with people who just like to argue. There are people who are built to be confrontational. Confrontational people are confrontational. So their agenda is to engage you in some type of a battle. Everybody's tired after a battle. I don't want to be in a confrontation with someone. I don't want to battle with people unless I absolutely have to. But in most cases, we don't have to. In most cases, or very oftentimes, Shutty Shutty works. So I hope that you've been inspired to try Shutty Shutty. I hope that if you've ever wondered what the heck Shutty Shutty means, because you've seen it on my YouTube channel, on a t-shirt, that's what it means. And if you begin using it, I would really be grateful for you to share your experiences here in the comment section. Thank you so much for being a member of this YouTube channel, being a part of my YouTube family, and for following my work and trying to do all you can to find your light in spite of what has been. You rock, dear one. You rock, because when you heal yourself, you help heal the world. How can I thank you for that? How can anybody thank you for that? You're making the world a better place in spite of what has been. So rock on, be you, and may your light shine bright. Namaste, dear one.